Vegas is getting star power. Smith, Downs, and Styles will rep Ohio State at Big Ten Media Days.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, Buckeye fans, to your Tuesday edition of Locked On Buckeyes, which is your daily Ohio State podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, veteran sports talk host, delivering passionate coverage about your Buckeyes, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. During today's show, we will discuss a unique non-conference game that Jake Diebler is trying to schedule, as well as a gym the EA Sports is bringing back for us to enjoy. But first, Big Ten Media Days are right around the corner. As we get closer to this event, people were speculating and wondering, what players would Ryan Day take with him to represent the team? Yeah, Caleb Downs makes a lot of sense. The best player on the defensive side of the ball in the country. Sonny Styles, he might wear the Blocko jersey. But then that third player, people were wondering, would it be a guy that's been on the team for 4 or 5 years? Or would it be Jeremiah Smith? It is definitely Jeremiah Smith. And all three of these guys that Ryan Day is bringing with him, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and Jeremiah Smith, to represent the Buckeyes at Big Ten Media Days in Vegas. They're great players. They're great humans, and you can't go wrong by having all three of these guys rep Ohio State at this annual event. And it would be very, very easy. And we talked about it on the show recently, that if Ryan Day wanted to not take Jeremiah Smith, it is either to shield him and protect him from the spotlight, or to bring somebody with him that's been on the team for 3 or 4 years, that's gone through some ups and some downs. It has some wounds and some scars along the way, has to overcome obstacles to get back on the field. That would have made a whole lot of sense. There's really only one guy that comes to my mind that would fit that description. It's Carson Hinsman. I think Austin Serafel is a guy that's going to be really good in the fall. Trust me, really, really good. A lot better than he was last year. But the things that Hinsman has gone through so far, going from being a starter to not being a starter to being a starter once again, to playing multiple positions and being a Swiss Army knife and really doing whatever the team needed him to do last season so the offensive line could be the best unit it could be. That speaks volumes, because there's a lot of guys that when you go from being a starter 1 year to not starting because Ohio State went into the portal to get a guy Seth McLaughlin, who won the Remington Award as a country's best center, you may be sitting here thinking, man, I got to sit out. I get that he's better than me, but you mean there ain't nowhere on the old line for me to go? Man, that is demoralizing. That can get you down. That can cause you to really be upset with what's going on. But Hinsman didn't do that. He didn't allow his different role last year and the multiple roles that he played last year to impact how he plays and impact who he is. So I think that it would have been an easy choice to allow Carson Hinsman to go and to not allow Jeremiah Smith to go. But Jeremiah Smith's true freshman season at Ohio State is one that we will be talking about for a long time. 76 receptions, over 1,300 receiving yards, 1,315 to be exact, 15 receiving touchdowns. He also added in 6 carries for 47 rushing yards, and he had 1 rushing touchdown as well. Those numbers were his freshman season, where he played 16 games and helped lead Ohio State to win the national championship at 3rd and 11 in the Natty. We'll be talking about that for decades and decades and decades as well, because that's one of those plays where you look back at that play specifically and say, who else on the team would you want to throw that ball to in that situation? I mean, there are multiple options that are really good options, but who is the best guy out there for that role? Jeremiah Smith. And he got that thing done. Caleb Downs, a year ago, by the numbers, in his first year at Ohio State, he had 82 tackles, 8 TFLs, a half a sack, 2 INTs as well. You also want to add in 6 pass breakups. He was an All-American. He is a dog. And I want to make a statement. I said it earlier. I'll say it again, and I think it's the accurate thing to say, that Caleb Downs is one of the best players in college football, probably the second best in college football behind Jeremiah Smith. If you want to argue that Downs is better than Jeremiah Smith, I'm not going to stop you. I am not at all. because I think there's a argument that some people will make or can make that Downs is better than Smith. I'm not going to be the guy to say that he's not or that he is. I would want to hear your side to figure out where you stand on the thing, because the consensus right now is that Jeremiah Smith is better. Caleb Downs had 100 tackles in his freshman year at Alabama. Last year, he had 82. At times, he was playing a Mike linebacker in a weird set that you don't normally see. He's roaming all over the field. He is controlling everything, literally everything on every single play. It's rare that he's in the wrong spot. It's rare that he makes the wrong read. It's rare that he makes the wrong angle. Trust me, a complete safety, hard to go anywhere else but to Caleb Downs. And in 2026 NFL drafts, because I assume this is Caleb Downs' final year playing college football, would it shock me if he's a top 15 or a top 10 pick? Absolutely not. Would it shock me if he's a top 5 pick? Absolutely not, because he's that kind of player. So if you're someone that says, well, Jay, Downs is better than Jeremiah Smith, I ain't going to stop you. I just want to hear the argument. But last but not least, a guy who I believe is also going to wear the Blocko jersey, Sonny Styles has had a very unique path to Ohio State. Remember, he skipped his senior year of high school. He reclassified. He was a freshman at Ohio State when he would have been a senior in high school. So as his body came in, he was 6'4", about 220, 225. He already came in physically more mature than most players. That's a huge benefit. But now you look at him, he's bulked up. He has started in multiple positions. He played safety his first 2 years in Columbus. Last year was his first year playing linebacker. He's played in all 16 games for the Buckeyes last year. He's played no less than 10 games during a season. In each season he's played at Ohio State, which is a massive, massive benefit. Last year for Sonny Styles, 100 tackles, 11 TFLs, 6 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 1 fumble recovery. Also had a forced fumble as well. So those are the numbers for Sonny Styles. But let's not forget, this is Sonny Styles' final year at Ohio State. So while Downs and Smith can play one more year of college football, this is it for Sonny Styles. The next step for him is going off to the NFL. I do believe he'll get drafted. I have no idea if he'll be a first-round pick. I'm not here to make that proclamation right now. We'll get some people on during the season, well, before the season and after the season, to break down Sonny Styles as an NFL prospect. But he knows what it means to be a Buckeye. Leaving high school early, changing positions, working now with multiple defensive coordinators, having Ryan Day as his head coach the entire time, playing in his home. I mean, there's so many massive benefits, but Sonny Styles, to me, when you think about a guy that's currently on the team that understands wholeheartedly what it means to be a Buckeye, that's Sonny Styles. And he's not trying to go out with only one ring on his hand as he leaves the Woody Hayes Athletic Center before going off into the National Football League. He wants another one. And at this event, you want your best to represent your team. Not only because that's what's needed, you don't want to allow somebody that just got on campus to represent you. No, you want to bring your best. And when your best are your stars, it makes even more sense. Jeremiah Smith, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs are the 3 players repping the Buckeyes at the Big Ten Media Days. Speaking of repping the Buckeyes, I know there are a lot of you that love EA Sports College Football 25, wait for 26 to come out. And EA Sports is doing something that will allow you to represent the Buckeyes in a new way with an old gem that the video game franchise is bringing back for us to enjoy. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet ride into the 9th inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or use FanDuel.com to get started. Thank you all for tapping and Locked on Buckeyes and making this show your first listen of the day. EA Sports, it's in the game. I am not going to try to do what the voice behind that phrase does on the video game because I can't do it justice. I can't do it like that, man. Those are some golden pipes, and I wish I was blessed to be able to do what he does, but EA Sports, it's definitely in the game. And EA Sports got a little glimpse about what college football fans and college athletic fans love as video games. And they knew that, but they knew back in 2013 when they shut down a video game with Denard Robinson on the cover that they hoped to come back. They didn't know if they could, but they hoped to come back. But even before that game in 2013 was shut down, in 2009, they shut down another franchise, a video game that they made. Was NCAA Basketball 10. Well, with the success that the college football game has had, and it is more popular than the basketball game, EA Sports saw the anticipation, saw the popularity, saw how much money they made, and they said, oh, baby, we're bringing back a gym. They're bringing back the college basketball game, baby, and I can't be any more excited because it's another game that I'm going to play over and over and over and over again. Why? Because it's so much fun. I played the NCAA Basketball 10 back in 2009 when it came out, and then I realized they stopped making it. And I understand why they stopped making it. I just think they missed the mark. It happens. They didn't miss the mark for college football 25. There are some revamps and some changes coming to the game in 2026, and I can't wait. That's coming out next week. The new college basketball game will be coming out in, at least right now, it's projected 2028. If it's anything like the college football game, you can almost pencil it in, not put it in pen, that it'll come out in 2029 because the football game got delayed, I believe, at least 12 months. Could be more than that. But when you're doing something new, you hadn't done in a while, you can use the Madden template if you want to, but there still need to be some things that make that game unique because college football is a whole lot different than the NFL. It's still football, baby, the pageantry, the traditions, the fans, the tailgates, the entrances, the Enter Sandman, the Clemson entrance, Ohio State running into the shoe. There are so many different things that make college football so unique that make it different than the NFL. And I don't really play 2K that much. I think my wife got me 25 at one point, or 24. I forget the game, but I don't really play 2K that much. Literally religiously, I play the new college football game over and over and over and over again. Just started the road to glory. I'm in year 2. I believe my player started at Ohio University. He since transferred to North Carolina. Will eventually be a Buckeye. Once he gets to Ohio State as a starter, he is staying there. He is a quarterback. His name is Prince King. I didn't want to change the name they already had in the first and last name slots when building my player. But I do expect him down the road to win a national championship, to win the Heisman, to win national awards, to be an All-American and all of those things. He hasn't done it yet, but it's definitely coming. If he doesn't do it in year 2 right now, he's definitely coming his junior season. That same thing's going to happen. That same vibe is going to happen with the college basketball game. And, Buckeye fans are wild. They're crazy. They're fun. They're energetic. Their fandom is wild and crazy and fanatic. But that's what we love about Buckeye fans. And if I know any of you watching this right now, maybe listening to the audio version of this show, you're going to tap into Ohio State basketball like you should. But you know what's great about this? The new court's going to be on there. And the fact that Ohio State's going to have multiple courts, as you're able to change and have different jersey combinations, y'all, I can't wait for them to have multiple courts for you to be able to use. Let's just say you want to use a script Buckeyes court when you're wearing your script Buckeyes jersey. It makes so much sense. You also have multiple colors. I believe the court itself inside the lines, the playing surface is gray. Y'all, look, I don't really get that go crazy over a course like this or really excited over a court. Oh, it's a new court. Cool. I like it. I also like the WNBA All-Star Game court. I saw that. Scott Agnes, who's been covering basketball teams in Indianapolis for over a decade, tweeted that thing out, and I was like, oh, man. I love this. I love that court, the new Buckeye court, the WNBA game, All-Star game court. I can't get my words correct. I also love the video game coming back, which makes me wonder, a little speculation here. Would you play a EA Sports college baseball game or a tennis game or a hockey game? Or let's say they did a track meet. Would you play those games? I don't think the appeal to most people would say that a baseball game would sell like football or basketball, which it won't. I don't think MLB The Show sells as many copies as NBA 2K sells. Matter if it's a hard copy or digital copy, I don't think it sells as many, but those players want money too. EA Sports hopes that all Division One men's and women's college basketball teams are in the game. Players will get paid as well, just like college football players are getting paid for being in the game. I can't say who I think is going to be the cover athlete for that thing when it comes out. Let's say it comes out in 2028. I can't do that because those guys, what, are freshmen in high school now or sophomores in high school now? You have no, I don't know. I don't know. There could be a really good freshman now that is not as good as he is his senior year. So I don't know. With the appeal to a lot of fans out there to put a guy that's fresh out of high school on the cover, I don't think that's great for selling copies of a game, especially with college basketball, going back to the old school trend of having 3 and 4 year guys being the team, got players that dominate your team and lead your team and help you win national championships. I truly don't think that they would put a high school kid on the cover. So who can I project to be there? I can't. I don't think Bruce Thornton will not be in school anymore. John Mobley Jr. will not be in school anymore. Devin Royal will not be in school anymore. So the guys that are currently on the team won't be eligible, at least the stars right now. And I have a hard time predicting what guys are incoming freshmen that will be stars in the future. So will I think a Buckeye player will be on the cover? Probably not. But if there were, I think right now the obvious, if the game came out right now and it was, or this summer, and I need to have a Buckeye cover, a Buckeye version, Bruce Thornton, easy pick. Easy pick. Yeah, Devin Royals also a good pick, but or Tom Mobley Jr. Those would be the 3 guys I would have at the top of my head. I wouldn't think of anybody else, but Bruce Thornton is the guy. He could have gone off to the portal, had a payday, gone on somewhere else, played college basketball. What is he doing? Sticking around and being a Buckeye. And you know what I hope sticks around? This video game. College football, college basketball, bring college baseball, do a track and field meet, do hockey maybe, men's and women's. Do both. We ain't about to be sexist around here. Men's and women's, do both. And we'll be happy with that. So the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit and things that he did to allow players to get paid now really prolonged. This game was already killed before that lawsuit happened, but you can like Ed O'Bannon or you may dislike him. I'm not going to tell you what side of that conversation to be on. I will say this, though. Those days of not having video games that we enjoy are over. EA Sports is going to bring back another gem, another classic, and it wouldn't shock me if we get baseball, if we get softball, if we get men's and women's hockey, if we get track and field as well. I do say softball because I know a lot of y'all watch the College World Series. Man, the Women's College World Series is just as entertaining. You know what's also entertaining? Non-conference college basketball. And the Buckeyes are really close to scheduling a unique non-conference game in the upcoming season. Thank you all for tapping in Locked On Buckeyes, making this show your first listen of the day. I hope everybody around here, if you have not already, is working on, as we speak, following or subscribing to Locked On Buckeyes. Make sure you don't miss a beat. Hit the bell on YouTube so you get notified when a new show goes live on your app, Apple or Spotify or whatever podcast app you're using. Turn notifications on so you get that buzz when a new show goes live. And when a new show goes live, you know we're always talking about the stuff that's coming up that is fresh and hot and intriguing to some in regards to what's going on with Ohio State. And this latest thought is about college basketball with Jake Diebler squad. Normally, I don't go and read stuff on certain websites, but when I hear rumblings about Ohio State and Virginia scheduling a non-conference game, a neutral site non-conference game in February of next year, baby, I'm tapped in and I'm tuned in. This is coming via a report from Matt Norlander of CBS Sports, and he discusses that his sources have told him that Ohio State and Virginia are two teams that are working to schedule a non-conference game on Valentine's Day of next season. The game will be a neutral site venue that will be determined down the road. The fact that it's happening right now in this month, it's now July 1st. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Already July 1st. It seems like the offseason was going a little slow. Then once we hit June, it maybe started to get a little bit faster. You get a little bit faster. You put your foot down on the gas a little bit more, and we're already in July. My goodness, it's crazy. But normally those types of things are already set in stone. And it's already one thing that is no question. Um, Something else that Matt Norlander put in his report: the goal is to house the one-off game at an arena that's practical for both Ohio State and Virginia fans. Nashville is under consideration as a destination. His sources added that when talking about this upcoming game, I don't know. When I think about Virginia and Ohio State, I don't. You're not going to go north to New York. You're not going to go to Madison Square Garden because is that really the best thing for the fan bases? No. Nashville does have an arena. Was it the Bridgestone Arena? I believe is the name of it. I know it was at one point that could host the game. Nashville is also a hot place to be. If you're traveling, bachelor party, bachelorette party, any kind of party, any type of getaway, people are going to Nashville like crazy over the past few years. I don't blame them, especially Tennessee. I really enjoyed my time in Tennessee one time on vacation, but Nashville may be the spot for that game. So if you're trying to find a place to take you and your significant other on Valentine's Day and a basketball game is a possibility, go. I'm not saying it's going to be Nashville. I have no idea, but save your coin, put your chicken out there, and go ahead out there and try to watch that game. And so I'm here for it. I am 100% here for it. While Virginia is not one of the upper tier schools in college basketball, we're 15-17 last year. The unexpected departure of Tony Bennett kind of set them back because now you have a new coach in, you have players that are there, and you're trying to figure out how to keep this boat afloat before it sinks. And the boat is currently sinking, and I don't know if it's going to be coming up for air anytime soon because it's hard replacing a legend. It's very, very hard. Recently won the national championship within the past decade, and you would have thought that its success would have stayed. Once Tony Bennett leaves, and that man was the captain of the ship, it seems like things aren't going well. But I say this is very important for Ohio State because you and I know the struggles Ohio State's basketball team has had in the non-conference slate. And it's one thing that has really annoyed me, and I'm sure it's annoyed you, because Ohio State has better talent than what they're putting up than the results that they're getting on the court. The individual talent is there. If you put any of these guys on a pickup playground and say, "Hey, first 11 win by 2," and they are the lone college basketball player out there, what are you going to find? They're going to kill. Christoph Tilley, put him on a playground court, he's going to kill. John Mobley Jr., I'm going to shoot the lights out. Bruce Thornton, elite playmaker, elite point guard. Devin Royal, nobody can guard him. So I know they got the talent. The talent isn't the issue. It's the team chemistry. That is the issue. And then Big Ten play gets very, very physical. And they have some really good coaches too, but it gets very, very physical. And there is a style of play that a lot of Big Ten teams play with that Ohio State has struggled with over the past 4 to 5 years. If you bring Virginia in or you play a non-conference game on a neutral site, then Virginia is the team you're playing. What are you going to be doing? You are going to be working so hard to overcome them. You're going to be game planning for a different team that's outside of the normal what you normally play, and it's going to help you prepare for the NCAA tournament. This is what it's all about. In college football, one of the biggest reasons that, one of the reasons, not the biggest reason, one reason why I'm opposed to Ohio State playing bottom feeder G5 schools, really G5 schools in general, but mainly FCS schools and low bottom G5 schools is because those games don't help you prepare for the playoff at all. one thing in 2019, the non-conference slate was not good at all. The regular season wasn't really difficult. While Ohio State had to overcome some adversity, they kind of ran over everybody they played in 2019. All of a sudden, you play Clemson in the national semifinal in the playoff. Clemson really, really good, but there were some obstacles Ohio State created for themselves that they did not overcome. Now, maybe if they had a tougher schedule, you can't knock the Big Ten for not being as competitive as you would like them to be. That's just the way that it is. But if they had an opportunity to play somebody tougher in the regular season, maybe non-con or in the Big Ten schedule, that would have better helped Ohio State prepare for the future, for the playoffs. You need a change of pace. You need a change of opponent at times to help you prepare for a bigger event in the future. So I am all for it. I am 100% for it. And one thing I want to close up shop with is, who would I love Ohio State to schedule a 10-year home-and-home series similar to what Notre Dame and Clemson agreed to over the next, 10 to 12 years? One is North Carolina. Get North Carolina into Columbus. Ohio State goes to Chapel Hill. That's an easy one. Two really good programs. Now, North Carolina is a blue blood. Ohio State is not a blue blood in college basketball. But if you go back and forth, those will be some crazy atmospheres, some wild fans, and that'll be great competition. That'll help Ohio State really test what they're made of, but also help them get ready and better for the NCAA tournament. Other schools out there, I would love an Arkansas, home and home. Because that'd be really, really good. I want to say Florida. In college basketball, not really appealing to Florida as much, but I still think Ohio State and Florida are going to be tied to each other for a very, 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 very long time. So really, to me, it's North Carolina, Florida, and Arkansas. Well, Arkansas is not a school that you would normally say in college basketball, they've been a whole lot better over the past few years. If you get that school to play that style of ball up at Ohio State, what is that going to do? Help you in the regular season for the playoff, but man, that might shift your recruiting philosophy as well, which is something that needs to happen with Debo's basketball team. The Ohio State-Virginia non-conference game, that is going to be on February 14th. The hiccup is the venue. That is the only hiccup. This is coming from reporting via Matt Norlander of CBS Sports. So the game is February 14th. Trying to figure out the venue. I wish this was done a few months ago, but what is it doing right now? Providing us with something to talk about right now in the offseason. Thank y'all for tapping in Locked On Buckeyes and making this show your first listen of the day. For your second listen, check out the portal, because my guy Brian Smith, he's got the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings. Be the most informed fan on the rapid changes to the college football landscape. Find the portal and Locked On Buckeyes on the YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me on any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. This has been Locked On Buckeyes right here on a Tuesday. We'll see you next time.